so excited.
You're gonna put the nameplates out?
Oh my goodness.
No one. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and we are starting on time at 7:30. Very proud of us. So welcome to the June 17th Township Committee meeting. Megan, would you please read the statement of presiding officer?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting, specifically the time, date, and public call and information were included in the meeting that was electronically sent to the Echo Sentinel Morris Daily Record and posted on the Township website. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online at www.longhillnj.gov. A public comment period will be held in the order it is listed on the meeting agenda. Failure of the governing body to provide a live broadcast of this meeting or technological problems encountered during the meeting that affect remote viewing and/or participation will not invalidate this meeting or any action taken, including but not limited to the adoption of any ordinance, resolution, or motion.
Megan, thank you. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Megan, please kindly take roll.
Committeewoman Fettis will not be joining us tonight. Committeeman Liberato.
Present.
Committeeman Verleza.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Here.
Mayor Paserchia.
Present. And so tonight we have two championship teams in our presence, and I believe we're going to do the baseball team first for no reason other than they're listed first. And I don't know, should we, well, first I'll read it, and maybe that everybody can join. We're going to get photographs and everything, and maybe we can get both teams together. I don't know if the Echoes is here. If not, Megan is an outstanding photographer. She can take a couple of photographs. So anyway, the 2026 Hustlin' Warriors won their first county championship since 2009 and first sectional final appearance since 2016. They spent 4 straight weeks ranked in NJ.com top 20 in the state and were ranked as high as number 14 and finished 18. And I want to give a round of applause before we even go any further. So I'm going to read the names. If I mispronounce anybody's name, Matt, you be quiet. Some of you, I think I coached at some point in the distant past. Anyway, Landon Pudlek. Please hold your applause until everybody's name is announced. It is the first name.
You messed it up.
It says Landon Pudlek.
Lack.
Pudlak.
Thank you. Here we go. We're off.
Oh, boy.
Brody Griffith. How did I do, Matt?
Good. Wait to get the Italian names.
Oh, come on, I'm Italian. Nick Minetti.
There you go.
Stefano Di Geronimo. Sam Hunziger. Isaac Russell. Robert Centimore, captain. Joe Guerrera. Christopher Dorsey. James Esposito. Brady Simo. Max Payne, captain. Joe Peruna. Lucas Sheehan. Jacob Jagonski. Jacob O'Shiel. Caden Diaz. Matt Hubert. Arav Raju. Bennett Dieleman. Tyler Slepakora. How'd I do? Pretty good, huh? David Bagarni. Kylan Patel. Lucas Ritchie. Ricky?
Ricci. You said that. I told you you messed up an Italian name.
Oh, man. Matt Dorsey?
Yeah. You're not going to be the next
Vaughn
announcer.
Griffith.
Who has the same last name as his brother,
And
who
I
pronounced
apologize. The administrator pointed out that I did miss Stefano Di Geronimo is also a captain. So we three captains. And now let's go with the coaches. Joe Tremarco, Joe Ascalis, James Serrano, Paul Weinbach, and Vin Crisafi. So at this point, maybe we have some proclamation here to give to everybody. So we can go, and maybe the entire township committee go up there. I mean, they represent all of us. So let's go out there as we hand these. Well, perhaps that would make best. The coaches can hand them out. Yeah. You decide who you want, or all of you. Down there.
I think so.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna sneak around.
A little tighter in there, but.
How we go?
So we don't have to move.
That is true.
Where's Frank?
Are we in?
Are we in? We good?
Ready? 1, 2, 3, look here, look here, look here. Perfect.
Are you guys gonna stick around?
Let them go.
And then, well, let's get the girls.
Let's get the girls in the photograph and then we'll make the presentation.
And then we'll do.
Sorry, well, we haven't given them their awards yet.
No? What do you wanna do? It's up to you.
You guys have to leave? I'm speaking to the coach, not you. Can you stay just for 5 minutes? Can you guys stay for 5 minutes? All right, let's do this. All right. You just want Christopher to go home and do his homework.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm all in.
Markers and everything nicely in there.
That's it, bro. I'll get you.
That's a resolution that's been,
Yeah.
Oh, that's something.
Well, there we go.
Oh,
All right, here we go.
under a discussion item.
So what's better than one championship? Let's go with two. So the Central Middle School girls softball team, they had a 13-0 record. Central Jersey Junior Softball League regular season and tournament champions. It is their 5th consecutive tournament championship. So boys, you've got something to look forward to or challenge going forward for you juniors. Scored 165 runs while only allowing 12 runs all season long. Well, you're about to clap again. Our 8th graders leave Central with an astounding record of 35 wins and only 2 losses. All right, here we go again. If I mispronounce your names, and the first one's going to be a difficult one. Ella, did I get that part right? Jim Brone? Jim Brone, okay, so we don't say Brone. Jim Brone, Lexi Miller, Kenzie Miller, Paige Anthony. Thank you for giving me an easy one. Ariel Varva, Sailor Simo, Miro Lau, Kira Vanderstreet, Lexi Clark, Ginny McKenna, Addison Peruna, Julia Stroher. Okay, well, okay, somebody else say it. How do you say it?
No R. Store.
Store. All right. I put an R before the H and another R. Stower. Storer. How's that? No, that's still.
There you go.
Storer. Okay. Sorry, Julia. Claire Seeley. Rosalind Klauser. Serena Hansen. Uh-oh. Kylie Say it again? Thank you very much. And I'll leave it at that. Coach Hochmeyer. So a round of applause. And if I could ask the girls team come up first, and then we're going to do a group picture as well. And Coach, I think I've seen you several times already. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right.
You guys do all your meetings on graduation cards. I don't understand. That's just some impressive numbers. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Congratulations.
Well done. State of tradition. You know how
That's it, that's it, bro.
All right, so you get tighter, right? Yes. It's gonna be harder when we have. You guys can come up. Parents, come on.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
All right, so now all the boys, let's go. The girls, you would probably.
Yeah, have the girls probably in front.
Coach is still there. You're in charge of the.
Brad's having time, I think. Guys, like our team, hey, like our team picture. Your halves, just like angle turn. You guys angle in towards the middle. No, like turn your body. So make sure you're seen. Get in there.
Panoramic.
Coach, you want to come up here? Or stand on a chair? Hold on, we're not ready.
Coach, get in here.
Good?
See, I told you I should have stayed.
One last one. And you're by all
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Congratulations.
Megan. Thanks, Mr. Perserso. That was quick. They're out of here 10 minutes. Cooper.
All right, what do we got? Cooper. Presentation.
See little Cooper. I'm his wingman. Cooper.
Would you leave them alone?
Yeah, I'm his wingman.
Oh, you being nice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling them to get out.
No, I mean, who? Hope he didn't bring books with us. I knew he will.
So-
Wait, are we in trouble? Oh.
No, I don't think so.
So as the teams are walking out, I want to publicly thank Megan, our esteemed clerk, municipal clerk. Nothing good happens here without her. You organized this, so thank you.
I didn't win, so.
Thank you. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm about to say it, Chuck. You can stand there. All right, so the item number 5 The meeting is open to the public. Remarks and statements pertaining to agenda items only. Comments and remarks, 3 minutes if you could.
Well, I think we need to.
Chuck, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Charles of Renowitz Millington. My comment is a discussion item. Trash can ordinance. Please do not waste your time. This ordinance is not needed like the overnight parking ordinance. Don't even discuss it. It's not needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. The meeting is still open to the public on any item. On the agenda, I apologize. Hi,
Melissa Azarian, Millington.
pleasure.
I have a question about the chicken ordinance. You limit it to 4 chickens. Are chickens who currently lived here before the ordinance goes into effect, are they grandfathered?
My answer is, my human answer is they should be, only because they're pets slash,
Here, technically, no, because it's a police regulation, not a zoning ordinance. But if you want to make that, you can do that in enforcement.
I mean, I have
chickens are we
friends.
talking?
I don't know. They're not mine. I'm just,
Oh, it's just a general,
Here for
are
a
they like
friend,
20 or 8, you know?
the thing is, in Warren in 2012, they had a chicken ordinance, very similar. And they grandfathered in the chickens who already lived there because they
Thank you,
recognized their
thank
pets.
you for telling us that.
I think that's fair.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue.
Thank you.
I appreciate you bringing that to her attention, and the last thing I want to do is have a family, especially with young children who have chickens, they become part of the family.
The question is, if you have 5, can you always have 5?
Unless they're a nuisance, I don't think anybody's going to go out and cause a ruckus on this.
Yeah, certainly, I mean, if there are noise or other complaints, that's a different issue. But if there are no complaints,
We haven't received all that many complaints, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just,
What about the place over by the Great Swamp that sells eggs? I'm guessing they have more than,
the funny thing is, there's a
maybe
rooster
they're a
there. and
farm or something?
I look forward to hearing that rooster.
I wonder if they're a farm.
They may be.
You know the place I'm talking about? It's in the Great Swamp. It's a nice place. They sell eggs there. They decorate real nice.
Oh, on Pleasant, on White Bridge.
Yes.
Oh, that's all the Costco.
Oh, I thought you were
Yes.
talking about Hillview.
Yes, yes. So I mean, I'm guessing they have more than
They may have
4.
right to farm protection.
Yeah, they have
Okay.
a big piece of property.
Yeah.
Food for thought. Thank you.
So, Mayor,
And
this-
as Hillview Farm is the same thing, that's the one I was referencing, they have a
Doesn't
rooster.
affect farm.
If they're a farm.
It's a little bit from my house, and it's kind of,
So it's only residential.
being a city boy, I kind of enjoy hearing that.
oh, really?
But honestly, it's a well-behaved rooster. He crows or whatever for a minute or so, early in the morning, don't hear him again. That's not what we've heard for other
From other
situations, so. But thank you for bringing that, and I think we can amend it to say something, or
Grandfathering in, and then as they
or
go-
can we
as
just
they
remain
pass off.
silent on it?
Why don't we remain silent, see if it becomes an issue, and
Fair enough.
deal with it.
Okay.
To Mr. Arantowicz's point, you don't want to micromanage, responsible behavior, so, thank you.
Okay, and I had one other
Sure.
point. I won't review the whole history of the open space beautification, and it was combined, and then at the last meeting, you decided, we're not gonna have beautification, we're just gonna proceed with open space. But you said you were willing to consider it, so just some items to consider. Neighboring towns have volunteer-based committees or 501c3s that work on beautification. So the downtown Bernardsville nonprofit secured the funding for the mural for the bridge. Warren has an environmental commission, green team, and garden club that all work on beautification. Berkeley Heights Downtown Beautification Committee, New Providence Beautification Committee. Summit has a nonprofit called Summit Public Art, and the mission is to bring public art, obviously, throughout Summit. Booton is part of the Main Street America group, and that's a group of nonprofits. It's dedicated to beautification, historic preservation, and helping local businesses. So I was appointed to the open space / beautification. My interest was more on the beautification side, but in my short time on the committee, I did look into projects that were similar to ones that other towns have completed. And I know you're thinking we don't need a beautification committee, but based on my research about what the other towns have done, and it's time-consuming.
Okay, a couple of things about that. Some of those nonprofits you referenced, I believe, would be privately formed. I don't know if the town formed them.
They can, but they do it in conjunction with the town. Like, they would need to get approval
So
before they're gonna put
let
something.
me ask you a question, and we hadn't met previously on this. We had a green team for a number of years, and I think it's still active. And part of the reason we did it was because I knew the people over in Warren quite well, and I still do know the folks over in Warren quite well. In addition to doing whatever activities that they would do, it also provides the ability to apply for the very grants you're referencing.
Right, it makes it easier.
Would you, and I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot, but I've done this before. Everything you say makes perfect sense. Would you be willing to be on the green team?
If it does do the beautification type of tasks, that's
We
what
can
my interest is.
reword it to say that. Understand something, and I get picked on by my colleagues up here. The
No,
idea,
that doesn't happen.
the idea to combine the two was in fact mine, and with the intent of just what you're saying and combining it with what's happening across the street and open space. What I miscalculated was there are spaces. I thought we had moved on from having any available open space in town to purchase. That's not true. There are, and part of it that triggered it back into top of mind is there's some changes coming down the road at the state level regarding affordable housing, which will make certain spots that previously, well, I better stop there. My point is there is open space in Long Hill Township for purchase, but it needs to be researched by qualified and capable folks, which is what the open space group did. Now, there's no reason why the green team / beautificate, whatever we do, it can't cross-pollinate regarding across the street. And I was going to speak about Central Park later on in the context of something else. But that is something that is in motion already and will continue to be in motion. So maybe we can do something with the green team to task them with other things. I don't know. It was not a reflection of the folks that we were appointing to open space beautification. What became apparent to us, and my colleagues like to point that out, and what became apparent to me, while it may have been a good idea in my head, it was not a good idea in practice. So we're going to, this evening, reconstitute that open space committee, appoint members. But in your case, it sounds to me like you're more interested in the beautification side of things, and certainly Vic is. That's been a pet project. That's making light of it. It's not a pet project. A focus of Committeeman Verleza.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get Committeeman Verleza, to get involved with the green team and incorporate some of the ideas that you and Chief Gallo and Colette were working on as part of that.
Sure.
We discussed that in exec just now. We were trying to figure out how to invigorate or reinvigorate that whole beautification side of things. Vic's done a lot of work. He was the driving force behind Sterling train station. Vic, I know some people, but I love the idea of the what do you call it? The covering on
Awnings?
the B&C&G.
Yeah, the box,
Well,
I
the wrapping
love
of
it.
the
I drive by
wrapping,
the
yeah.
I mean, so
Cantor Field,
right.
front.
Right, so it's not diminishing what beautification was doing. I just didn't think they needed to be combined anymore.
Okay.
And we do have a green team, in fact, that came from Warren. Warren did it first, and we followed their lead. So I appreciate you coming to the mic. It's not always an easy
No
thing to do.
problem.
So would you mind, Megan, I think you already have, Megan, you already have contact information. Maybe you can
Yeah.
coordinate. And I I forget who's on the green team now. I think I'm the township liaison.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Fine, we'll work on that.
Okay.
But again, thank you.
You know how to find me. Okay,
And we will.
thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Good evening, how are you? I wasn't really expecting to comment tonight, but since the young
your
lady,
name, sorry?
Michael Pavlo, Chestnut Street in Sterling, her concern about grandfathering existing chickens in if someone has more than 4. I'm more interested in the rooster aspect of it. I can stand here and tell you, I do not want any roosters grandfathered in under this new ordinance. It's not fun waking up at 10 after 4 every morning. So I'm not a lawyer, but is it treacherous ground to grandfather in hens and then you ban roosters if someone already has a rooster?
That's why I made it a police power ordinance and not a zoning ordinance, because under a zoning ordinance, you'd have a good argument that you're grandfathered. Whereas under a police power ordinance, you're not. So
Okay, so
the
if someone has a
rooster-
rooster now,
the rooster
They got
can be enforced immediately.
And
okay,
in fact, I think what Jack said, we're going to remain silent for now on the grandfathering of the chicken. So it's actually a non-issue.
it's not written
in the
down.
It's
sense.
hypothetical at this point.
Okay. My other question is, we've been patient for almost a year living with this rooster. It's not ours, but it might as well be because we hear it every morning and all day long. What action has to be taken to try and,
When
The
can we
the code
take action?
enforcement officer will enforce this new ordinance. If the person in question does not comply, then a summons will be issued, and the person will be brought to
I
the
mean, is it
municipal
up,
court.
I'm here by myself, but I'm speaking for my own family and
Yep.
all the neighbors around us, they're all behind us. So
In
do we,
fairness
do we have to approach
In
someone?
fairness to the neighbor, I think he stated publicly, and he has conversed with Matt or something, I mean, he absolutely intends to comply. So,
He hasn't complied yet. I guess he's waiting for the law.
Let me say this, every morning that rooster crows multiple times, it's a nightmare for everybody in the
And
neighborhood.
it's not once, and it's,
It's not fair.
you find it whimsical
I've
at the
experienced it, by the
farm,
way,
because
that's
you
why-
hear it, you hear it once and you think, boy, this
I'm a
is,
city boy.
this is great. Believe me, once it starts in the morning, it does not stop for at least an hour.
And closing the windows doesn't
No,
cure it.
we don't dare even go to the bed with the windows open.
Jack, if I may ask.
Yes, sir.
2 questions pertaining to his comments. Number one, so this does not apply to any farmland in town or a farm?
he cannot.
Farms,
cannot,
by
or
by
exempt.
state law, there's the right to farm act.
So if
which
he lived
protects
next to,
farms.
so for instance, if he lived near a farm, there was nothing you'd be able to do. So wherever there is farm or farmland, doesn't apply. Does this also affect for the chickens, just so I understand, does it affect the location of the chicken coops in this ordinance, or this has nothing to do with
Yes,
the
this,
construction of the
this
farm?
ordinance changes the setback requirement, which was
Okay.
Matt Dorsey's request.
Okay.
From 40 feet to whatever the setback for accessory buildings is in the zone.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate your concern and that's it, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Look, I'm not an expert on roosters, but I can tell you, the rooster on Hillview Farms crows in the morning, couple of times, and then, I don't know.
Yeah, he must be on Social Security, because our guy's exuberant.
So I have a question. So when is zoning gonna go and take care of this issue?
As soon as,
Well, he can't do
As soon
anything
as it's
until that
published.
is voted on.
If we vote on it and it passes, it could be
It
taken
becomes-
care of tomorrow.
It becomes effective
No,
That-
upon,
no,
upon
no.
publication.
No.
Has to be, the attorney will tell you when it takes effect.
Thank you.
Upon publication,
And how long is that?
tomorrow. It'll be published tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
and again, I want to be fair to the neighbor. I know there's been some concern, but he stated publicly, and he has stated to us individually, he intends to comply. So I think
Perfect.
So I
he
gather.
deserves the
Perfect.
opportunity to comply.
I gather from what you're saying that it's been all the neighbors are up in arms about this, is what you're
Well,
saying?
the ones that I've talked to, because we'll be out chatting in the evening and the thing will start to crow, and everyone's like, can you believe this? We've been dealing with this for so long, and I don't want to belabor the point, but our hope was that it would have been gone already and not waiting for a law, but what can you do? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, Megan?
anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding agenda items only, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, I hear you, I hear you. So it's double bite. Okay, item number 6, ordinance 592-26, first reading, introduction, ordinance amending and supplementing certain sections of the land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill, 1996, to add or update certain terms and to remove invalid and redundant terms. That sounds like Jack, I think?
This came from the planning board, and it's really a cleanup ordinance.
All right, it's first reading, so I'll ask the Township Committee, any questions, comments? Seeing none, looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Committeeman Liberato,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, ordinance 593-26, first reading, introduction, ordinance amending land use ordinance of the Township of Long Hill regarding places of assembly, places of worship, and public and private schools. I have a feeling it's the same response, but Jack?
You are correct, and I think the title is pretty self-explanatory. This also came from the planning board, and under the procedure we've been following, this was on last meeting agenda for discussion prior to introduction.
I'll go back to the planning board as well.
Questions, comments from
It'll go
the
back to the planning board.
Township Committee? Hearing none? I apologize, did I not, you did take a vote on the last one? All right, so we have to take a vote now.
You have to have a motion and a second first.
Oh, I motioned and seconded it myself.
You can motion it if you
All right, I
want.
motion it. Looking for a second.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. Okay, ordinance 588-26. This is second reading, adoption. Capital ordinance providing for various improvements in and by the Township of Long Hill in the County of Morris, New Jersey, and appropriating 1.4 million approximately, so 1,403,800, therefore from Capital Improvement Fund of the Township. This is definitely Randy.
Yes, this is our 2026 capital improvement for various improvements. It includes road improvements, purchase of equipment, purchase of safety for our fire department, police, and improvements to some infrastructure for the town.
Okay, since this is second reading, I'm going to open this up to the public for questions or comments. Seeing none, Megan?
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 588-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. I probably should have had the Township Committee. You have any questions or comments for Randy? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. Ordinance 589-26, second reading, up for adoption. An ordinance repealing Resolution 26-025 and Ordinance 580-26, and readopting and codifying former Section 2-37 of the Township Code to reestablish the Open Space Advisory Committee. So we discussed this in exec, but now we're going to appoint the names.
Consent agenda.
That's con-
Oh, we're gonna, I apologize. So that will be part of the consent agenda. This is second reading, and we'll talk about the names momentarily, but I'd like to open the meeting for questions or comments on ordinance 589-26.
Mayor, it's my understanding the Township Committee would like to increase the number of members, potential members to 12. It would not require that you appoint 12. And-
Okay, and currently it's 10,
and it-
correct?
It would all be the residents at large.
And there are iterations, there's 4 to 6 at large, and then there's several
There's
environmental.
at least one member of the Township Committee, but not more than 2, a member of the Environmental Commission.
Gotcha. Okay,
If you
so,
want to do that, would be by motion. Since it's an advisory committee, I think you could amend tonight and adopt tonight.
Perfect. So again, what we're increasing township committee members from 10 to 12. It's defined, certain numbers, or, you know, certain numbers apply to,
The increase will all be in members at large category.
yeah, that's the one part I did not ask you previously. Okay. So the meeting's open to the public. I didn't
Wait,
see.
we need a motion to make that amendment second and then open the.
All right,
public
so
hearing.
let somebody else.
So
say it.
moved.
Second. That can be a voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now open to the public. Seeing none. Megan, please.
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 589-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt? 589-26.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, ordinance 590-26, second reading adoption, amending section 17-1.7 entitled Fees in Chapter 17 entitled Fire Prevention of the Township Code. Randy or Jack, who wants to take this one?
These are just fee changes from the fire official.
Recommended by the fire official.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll open up the meeting to 590-26. It is under discussion for adoption. Seeing none, Megan, please kindly, home.
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 590-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
So we'll close the meeting to the public, and I'll look for a motion to approve ordinance 590-26.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. So ordinance 591-26, second reading for adoption. This is moving the regulations concerning the keeping of chickens on residential properties from the land use ordinance to the police regulations section of the Township Code and amending several sections of the Township Code. Our town council kindly pointed out to me, we probably should have held off on conversation regarding the chickens till the end, but that's perfectly fine. You're welcome again. The meeting's open to the public on this ordinance 591-26. Seeing none, Megan at home?
I have a Jack, just so.
Oh, I apologize.
No, I have some questions. So right now, they're gonna be the same setbacks if you put a shed on your yard or anything else?
That's correct.
Okay, that was my concern. All right.
Sorry, I should have asked the township committee. Anybody? Nope. All right, so we're gonna close the meeting to the public?
Nope. Zoom. If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 591-26, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. So now can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 591-26? And Jack, I think you've already kindly explained it will be published tomorrow, if it is approved.
So moved.
Representation.
So moved.
Looking for a second. Megan?
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. So now, item number 7 on your agenda, this is the 2026 budget presentation. Randy, I think this is you.
Okay.
Coming. My computer is taking a minute because of all the hard work it's done so far today. There we go.
So, Mayor, I'd start off before the budget, before the PowerPoint that, as the school boards have told us in the past couple of meetings, this has been a very difficult budget year, especially with areas of just general economic inflation, but also health benefits and insurances have been very difficult, especially health benefits. I think our joint insurance fund has done a good job with the other other insurances, the liability and the workers' comp. They kept those to reasonable increases, and I applaud the board for doing that. But let's go right into the PowerPoint. So how the budget process works, we start the process in September or October of 2025. We look at everything. We look at all the, we have the budget, the department heads request the budget. We review each of the budgets, review them with the department heads, come up with reasonable expectations of what they'd like to accomplish in the budget, and so forth. We take a look at the tax levy, how it compares to last year, to 2025 compared to 2026. We look at all the revenues, all the expenditures, and we try to come up with a reasonable, financially sound budget, not only for this year, but also keep it in consideration for the following years. We do have a 6-year capital budget plan in this budget. Our population is under 10,000, so by state law, we're only required to have a 3-year capital budget, but we've done 6 years in the past. We like to keep 6 years so that we have some idea of where we're going with the capital. So how we got here, like I said, we started in September, getting the departments and working with the departments on their budgets. In January, we started coming up with a preliminary budget. Earlier in April and May, we sat down with the Finance Committee, which this year consisted of the mayor and Teresa. We had several meetings of good discussions and again, not only discussing the current year budget, but also discussing what does next year look like? What does the following year look like? So, you know, you need to take a look at this, because obviously things that you do this year and revenues you may use this year may affect what's available and present issues in the next couple of years. So how does the township, if you will, financial report card look? So this year, 2025, we budgeted $17,698,981. We collected $18,900,000. So we took a surplus of that. We spent $16,779 out of the 17. So we still had in reserves for appropriations $2.1 million. So the surplus reserves, as you can see, have gone down a little bit each year. We are aware of that. We made those decisions to help with tax increases and deferring tax increases, and looking at what's coming online over the next couple of years. The committee felt comfortable in taking this risk to try to help the taxpayers in a difficult time, if you will. Everybody's facing many increases, just gas alone, but also inflationary numbers. The debt as percentage of assessed value, we're allowed up to 3.5%. Last year, we paid down on the debt, so it went from 0.053%, so 53 1/1000ths of 1% down to 0.083. It went to, the other way. It went from 0.083 to 0.053. So what does that mean? It means we have very little debt. We have no bond notes or bonds on record, where we just have deferred charges, which we raise in the budget each year.
So Randy, can I add just a little context to this page? To give a perspective on what Randy just discussed, 16 or so years ago, there was $600,000 in surplus. And our auditor had, advised us at the time, you need to increase that. And we slowly but steadily increased it up to that high water mark of $3.2 million. So our auditor will be comfortable with this, I believe, in this rough area.
He's
There
shaking
he
his,
is.
shaking his head yes.
All right. And I'm not putting words in your mouth. You can speak certainly intelligently on your own. I would also point out 16 years ago, I mean, that debt level is effectively zero. I mean, it's there 0.08, whatever, well, 0.05 now. That's effectively zero. 16 years ago, the debt for Long Hill Township was $20 million. So steadily over the course of time, partially due to the sewer sale, but that doesn't account for $20 million. The debt was eliminated. So I just wanted folks to understand where we were and where we are.
And Mayor, you make you ask a valid question. What is a fair reserve for capital surplus, surplus in the budget, or what they call fund balance? There is no real benchmark. I strongly believe it depends on each town. You have to know what's going on in your town. You have to know, for instance, a big thing is pilot programs in various towns. What's new construction coming on? What are expenses? What are debt services? What are capital improvement needs and so forth? So many people say, well, what's the benchmark? I don't know if a benchmark makes sense as an overall average. I think it's individual for each town. We've done very well in the budget since I've been here since 2018 with very, very mild tax increases. So I think the committee has done a good job with that. Let's go to revenue. One of the things I want to highlight in here, there's a huge revenue increase with grants. That fluctuates depending on how many grants you get each year and what is being put in the budget. But one thing I do want to point out, state aid, if you see that number, that is zero. Zero increase over last year and zero increase over the year before. So we've only, over the last 15 years, I think we've increased about $80,000, okay? So, and part of this, what the state refers to as state aid is what I refer to as energy receipt tax, which all of you pay. Everybody in the state of New Jersey pays that. And what is that? That's part of your utility bills. I don't know if it still says it on my utility bill, but I remember it used to saying that certain percentage of this bill goes to your municipality. Well, years and years ago that was true. Then it went to the state because the utilities didn't want to cut 567 checks every year. So the state said, we'll take care of it and we'll take a little bit for our efforts. Right now, you could build more in the town. Obviously, that's more utility bills going out. We should be getting more money, but we don't. So hopefully, that's a big issue with the state every year.
Randy, if I can, I'm a member of several committees at the state level regarding this, the energy tax receipts. That has been a huge issue for all 564 towns. It's not a party issue. The budget for upcoming year is due by July 1. And there's some meetings we've had at the New Jersey League of Municipalities and the Conference of Mayors, and the comments made is this is the quietest it has been this close to the budget being announced. Usually there's some information that gets leaked to the league or to the Conference of Mayors, and there's some concern about what's happening, and I wouldn't hold out much hope that the energy tax receipts being returned to the municipalities will increase. We're reasonably confident it will remain where it is.
Yep, and that's what the state is telling us, to use the same number. So, two other noticeable that I want to bring up is the library tax, which is basically designated by the state of New Jersey. That has increased 9.4% from last year. Our municipal tax levy has increased, and I do see that I made an error in spelling now. it increased 5.2%. But I will say, with a 5.2% tax increase, we are under the state mandated 2% cap level for taxation. So the breakdown of other revenue, as you can see, there's not a lot of changes. You know, two areas that increase is construction code fees. We have gotten a major project that came on, that applied for permits, and the sale of municipal assets, which is the funds from the sale of the sewer utility. So where do we stand with the tax levies? So as you can see, the percentages of your tax levy to school tax is 43.7. The municipal tax is 24.3. The regional school is 18.12. And those school taxes together is just about 60%, which is pretty normal in municipalities. Usually ranges from like 58% to 65%, depending on the municipalities. So we're right in line with that. Morris County tax 11.2, library tax 1.6, and our open space tax is under 1%. Where does the taxes come from? Our property assessments, our residents and the residential properties pick up the bulk of the taxes. So they pick up 88.48% of the taxes, and as you can see, the rest fall in line to make up the 11.4 that's being taxed. The next slide is the property tax assessments. The assessments increased about 8.9%, just under 9%. You know, this is just because of the reassessment and what the market is doing to our area with regard to property values. As you can see, the residential in Long Hill is increasing the most, and these are based on actual sales that have occurred last year through October 1st of 2025.
So Randy, can I just, on the could you go back to the previous page? Page 8. So, as Randy pointed out, the bulk of our revenue comes from residents. That is a very high percentage relative to our surrounding towns. Towns like Chatham, Berkeley Heights even more. I think that 30% come from commercial. The Chathams are like 20. Forum Park's even higher. I think it's 40. So that's a challenge for Long Hill. We don't have a lot of ratables in town. Now, there is this year, as Randy pointed out, and next year will be a little bit challenging, in large part because of healthcare costs. But there is construction going on and will go on this year and next year that will act as ratables, even though they are residential. And those are the fair share developments that people have seen right next to Ancona, or right next to the haircut place over there. And there's several others in town, one of which is the Tifa property over near the Millington train station. So these will actually bring in revenues. And there are studies done regarding school-age children that will come out of these types of developments. And it's pretty exact. These numbers have been consistent since CO has been around. So we know it won't present too much of a burden on the school system. In fact, the K-8 school and the high school came in and presented over the last couple of months. And they showed that enrollment has steadily decreased, and I think the high school next year will be 1640, if my memory is correct. And when the K-8 folks came in, it's going to go down from about 870 this year, 850, 870, and it'll be 768 next year. So the schools are in a good position to absorb any students that come from the new development. So those new developments will act as a ratable.
Correct. 2 slides. So this slide is just showing you tax rates, how they have changed from 2021 to 2026. A lot of people ask, is like, yeah, well, your taxes increased 5.2%, well, what does it mean to me? Okay, so the top portion of here shows you the tax rates. Each year, the tax rate has gone down, including this year, okay? That's because the ratables increase more than what the taxes percentage is increasing. The bottom portion is what is an average home in the township of Long Hill and what is the impact? So as I showed you before, the largest increase in assessments is the residential because of the sales and everything. So while the taxes are going up 5.2%, the average home is increasing just under 5.8%. And the last previous years you have there ranging from 1.29 to 2.12 in any given year. So even in a minute, we'll show you the appropriation. So even in what I believe is a very difficult budget year, while the percentage is higher, it's reasonable once you see the expenses. So Megan, let's go to budget allocations. So the top number there is huge, 37.4% increase over last year. And all of that is basically health benefits. We did have the next increase, I'm eliminating the grants because as I said before, the grants will fluctuate tremendously depending on what year you get. And grants, to let people know, offset revenues to expenses. So that's a wash in any budget. The next increases are the employer pension costs, largest increase. And overall, you can see the other percentages. While there's some modest increases overall, it's decent to help reduce that 37% down to an 8.2% tax increase. I mean, it's appropriation. I'm sorry. So here we just taken the 8.2% and spreading it out into what categories the actual increases are going in. So one of the areas, the capital deferred charges reserve actually went down a little bit. The largest amount is in administration where that the insurances fall. And the next largest would be health and human services. And then with the library, and at 8.8%. So the 6-year capital fund, as you can see, the 2026 funding plan calls for $1.4 million plan. Future taxations over the course of the 6 years are anticipated at $24.5 million. Now, some of that, will be a pay-as-you-go capital, and some may be debt that may be issued. That will be decisions made in the upcoming years for a total 6-year plan of $25.8 million. And that basically wraps up the presentation, Mayor. Overall, I'd like to thank especially the Mayor and Teresa for spending way too many Friday afternoons talking about budgets, and I appreciate the conversations we had and let's say the benefit discussions that we've had.
They were spirited.
They were spirited, but as it should be with budgeting and being concerned about people's personal finances.
Right, and we do take that extreme, that's our main job, is providing the services that the taxpayers deserve and pay for reasonably. And we only went back to 21, but if you go back even further, there were, I think, 3 years where we had zeros, multiple years where it was 1. This year, the healthcare costs just could not be avoided.
Yeah. One of the big accomplishments in this budget, and I think the committee should take credit for it, you guys made a commitment in giving the police department the staffing that they need and expenses and equipment as outlined in the report that was given, and this budget does that. So kudos for you guys
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
moving forward, so.
That's a good point. Something we've discussed for a number of years, and we're finally caught up, I think. All right, so at this point,
You have to do the budget by title only at the public hearing.
okay, and then, all right. So 26-157, Megan, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the 2026 budget to be read by title only at the public hearing?
Correct.
All right, so what exactly do I,
If you want to do a motion, a second,
And
and
a vote.
and a vote? And we'll
For
open it to the public, but that's
resol-
what we do first. All right, so I'll look for a motion to,
Otherwise, I have to sit here and read every single line item of the budget, which will take another hour.
Well, so we'll do one resolution, and then we'll do the public hearing for the budget.
right, all right, so 26-157, to be approved by voice vote, or?
No. Motion.
All right, so I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, and now 26-158, adoption of the
Nope.
No, public
Now
hearing
you need
first.
to do
Open
the
the
public
public
hearing
hearing.
of the budget.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, let's open up the meeting to the public for those that are present in the courtroom for 26-157.
158 for the
158.
adoption of the
Budget.
budget.
For just a budget.
All right. Yeah, now I'm thoroughly confused. 158 is open to the public.
Correct.
Correct.
All right, here we go. So 26-158, adoption of the 26 budget for those that are present.
Charles Renowitz, Millington. It's my recollection that Warren dealt with their insurance increases by going outside the state insurer, or I'm not sure exactly. There's been some publications and so forth. Given the fact that we had a 37% increase, have we looked at doing what Warren's doing, and what was the conclusion?
Well, the answer is yes. The challenge there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Randy, if you go outside the state, you're precluded from going back into the state for 3 years. And we did not think that was prudent for a one-year contract. We tried to get a contract for multiple years, and other towns have done it. But I don't think that was the prudent path to follow, to be kicked out of the state plan for 3 years for a one-year contract. Because then you're subject to.
Yeah, and I'll even add to that, yes, we have looked outside the state. We are also looking at various options within the state health benefits and sitting down with the unions, because, this is a personnel concern with the union agreements, and talking with them to help offset not only the cost to the taxpayers, but their costs also.
Well, I know some of you have very strong relationships with the committee in Warren and the administrator. So your difference about the 1 year, 3 year, was that discussed with them and they came to a different conclusion than you did, or what?
Yeah, they came to a different conclusion. I wouldn't have done it. They did it. They were elected by their residents, so they're entitled to make their own decisions.
Have other towns done what Warren's done? I mean, of the 576 or 67?
Well, there's a lot of towns that have never been in the state health benefits program, but there are towns making a lot of adjustments. So yes, there's towns moving out. I asked for a 18-month contract from somebody who presented us a deal, and they said they could not do that. At the time, they said it would save us $300,000. When I ran the numbers, it was actually $200,000.
Which they agreed to once you went back to them.
And we have discussed with the mayor and Teresa, I've discussed various options that unfortunately I can't go into detail with because it is contract negotiations, if you will. But that can provide good savings to the taxpayers in the upcoming year.
And by the way, Chuck, your question's bang on. That is exactly the right question to ask.
Thank you.
So I'm not trying to sidestep it. That is the right question.
Yeah.
It's a question.
So
to put down.
that doesn't preclude us from going next year
No.
out if it
No.
jumps to 42 or whatever.
Yeah, no, not at all. And you know, when the mayor said we had, I don't want to say heated discussions, but we had a lot of intense
No.
discussions about that within our budget meetings.
And I'm
So
going to add
it's-
to your question, as towns leave the state plan, think about what that's going to do going forward. We're well aware, and we need to be in front of this. We are going to look, and we're hopeful that whether we can combine with other towns, it's a little bit harder, you know, to get a group thing. It depends on what your own claims history have been over a recent period of time. We now have time to look at
And team
the
up.
state health plan. I don't think we're gonna have a choice next year but to leave, because as towns have left this year and more towns leave next year, that's gonna push up the cost
Cost.
of the state health plan.
Yep.
All right,
So
thank
your
you.
question is exactly right.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the public? Here? No? Megan, would you kindly look at home?
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding the budget, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, we have our auditor present. He's gonna come up and hopefully
did you wanna-
say, well done. But honestly, we have not spoken, so I don't know what you're gonna say.
I have to tell you, everyone has stolen my thunder. You know, going back to just the comments and the conversation related to the health benefits, I see a lot of towns throughout the state. Our memory's a little bit short-term on this one, but if you look back a couple of years, this really wasn't something we ever questioned. If you go back 6, 7 years ago of, do we want to be in the state health benefit program or not? It wasn't going up to this extreme. It's only the last couple of years. And to your point, there's a lot of variables that come into what kind of a deal you're going to get by going outside of the health benefits program. And I've seen a lot of mixed results in towns. Some of them aren't happy. Some of them are very happy. Some of them have seen big increases after what their first year contract was. Some of them, it hasn't gone up as much. It's on a case-by-case basis. The decision that you make is your own. Overall, your budget is solid. Thank God that, you know, you're able to stay within both of the caps, to continue to provide the services to your residents that you have, continue to work on your capital items. As Randy said, very difficult year for a lot of towns, and it's the same thing that I hear at every single budget meeting. It's health benefits, it's pensions, and just the overall cost of things going up. But with that being said, that's all opinion stuff here. Factually, you're below both of your appropriation caps. You have a good, solid budget. Randy had sent it to me April,
Yeah.
something like that, right? I took a review. I made sure that we had everything, all the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed, so on and so forth. Couple of minor things, sent him back, and we're all good. You are fully ready. This is a fully adoptable budget. And like I said, you guys have really stolen a lot of my thunder on a lot of the notes that I have related to capital and paying down the deferred charges. Just another quick note on the deferred charges, because I don't know if everyone really understands this. Because of the financial position of the township, one of the things that we did with those deferred charges is essentially we're funding it every year in the budget. So we're financing it through the budget, which we're really saving on the interest cost for that. So it's really, if you can do it, it's a great way to do it. You're borrowing from your own money and you're just paying a little bit every year. That's all I've really got for you all, but really great job on the budget. It's obvious that a lot of care and thought goes into it. And that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions for me.
Any questions?
Is there anything that you would say that we could improve upon?
It's really subjective in that. I think that one of the things that I like to see most is consistency in budgeting, right? So the same theories year over year being applied to the budget, and you're doing that.
Okay. that's
Right,
good.
we're fully funding all of the capital that we're planning on doing for this year and putting a little bit aside. Great way to go about it, right? We're paying down those deferred charges every year. We're not getting lazy and saying, oh, let's cut a little bit out. We're being responsible in that respect. And the most important thing, of course, as you all know, is that the second that you start taking away any kind of services to your residents is the second that it impacts you and the community the most, and you've maintained that level of service. So overall, I think, again, really difficult budget year, but I really don't see a lot of improvement that you could make. I think it's all just very fiscally responsible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate you coming. And
Yeah,
I want to
thank you
publicly
for coming,
thank
yeah.
you. I want to publicly thank Randy. And Randy, we are still talking after those
Yes,
Friday
we are.
afternoon meetings.
Yes, we are.
I was
Couple of
actually,
meetings I left where we weren't talking, but I think we're back to talking.
Randy actually asked me if I'd like to come to some of those Friday meetings. I said, absolutely. So,
So next year we'll have another party at the meeting.
In the end, for the record, Randy was right in the things he was recommending. As an elected official, you want to get the budget increase down to as low as possible. And the history being, 1.7% over 16 years. We just weren't able to do it. And thank you for pointing out, there was no way to anticipate what was going to happen to healthcare costs 7 years ago. It kind of hit a lot of towns. And I think that's why a lot of towns, we did a survey of towns, and most of them are a little bit above us.
Yeah, as far as the tax increases, yeah.
So, but thank you.
very welcome.
Thank you for confirming we did not discuss, so I didn't know what you were going to say.
Thank you, have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Have a great night.
Thank you for coming.
Take care.
So now, the meeting was already open and closed to the public, so we'll just look for a motion?
Yep.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve. Let's read it, though. Can I have a motion to approve resolutions 25-157
We
and...
did, we did, just 158.
158.
Oh, just 158, that is correct. I apologize. So can I have a motion to approve resolution 26-158?
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Yes. All right, so item number 8 is the consent agenda resolutions. Megan, should we hold on to the side for 26-185 that we're appointing, and then you'll read the members, or do you want to do it right now? So, how did you want to proceed?
So you're adding resolution.
Right, so what we have is 26 for the public, we have 26-159 through 26-184, but we're going to add resolution 26-185, appointing the open space members. We'll do that publicly here and increase the size from 10 to 12.
We already did
Did
that.
that in the.
All right, so then we don't have to do it now, it's just, so,
So I'll read them by name and the resolution will reflect. And it will be staggered appointments. So some will have 1-year terms, some will have 2, some will have.
just to
three.
get back into the cycle that
Correct.
would have been if I had not brought up the
Correct.
combination of the two committees to begin with.
Correct, and eventually everyone will have a 3-year term.
Correct. So the regular members of the Open Space Advisory Committee will be Anthony Abate, Steve DeMarco, Fred Alansky, Charles Aronowitz, Dennis Sandow, Denise Murphy. The Environmental Commission crossover is Tom Flatley. And then we have Frank Liberato and Victor Verleza as well.
And that will leave room for, I think, 3 more? Because we are now 12?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And township committee terms are just the end of
The end of the year.
And those are the names we got from people that submitted.
Right, we
No,
didn't,
We didn't pick them. Well, we did, but they're the ones that submitted as.
right, there were no applications to be on the Open Space Committee that were not appointed.
Correct.
So if anybody is out there, would still like to be on, there are some open spots. We did that on purpose to give room. And, sorry for laughing. Correct. We left it open, and the Open Space Committee is going to be tasked, and we spoke about it a little bit earlier, with some serious work this year. We've got, across the street, we have affordable housing as the changes are coming. And we do have to look at we don't just buy properties. A lot of work is put into that by the Open Space Committee. And they did a lot of work on the property across the street over the years. In fact, that's how I became involved with the Township Committee to begin with, was on the property across the street, which is like 73 acres, 8 of which is developable, and what we're gonna be looking at with the Open Space Committee, and more importantly, with the residents. So anybody who's listening, start those ideas percolating, because we need to know what we wanna do, what you wanna do. You're paying for it. Okay, so all that said, any resolutions that a committee member would like to pull for further discussion or recuse themselves? Matt, you
Yes,
usually.
I
Yeah,
have
there
to
you go.
recuse from 26-166, the liquor license.
Gotcha. Anybody else? All right, so looking for a motion to approve 26-159 through 26-185. 185 is the open space appointment, the members, and with Matt recusing himself from 26-166.
So moved.
Second,
Committeeman Liberato.
yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. Okay, committee reports. Frank, looks, he's ready.
I'm ready. I
Fire
got 3
away.
reports. Then I'll let you go. I don't want to steal your thunder if you want to do that.
you can go, you can go.
So I'll start with a report, which I haven't done yet so far. I wanted to give everyone an update on what the fire company's been up to training-wise. This past spring, both Millington and Sterling have done numerous training together with instructors going over electric vehicle car fires and properly being prepared for that and using the equipment we have for it. Also, fire dynamics. It's an excellent refresher for us understanding fire movement, smoke movement, protection of firefighters, how to stay alive in there, and also how to protect and rescue. In addition, we did some training with the VA hospital fire department, which was very helpful. We did forcible entry with them. And then we had a 2-part training session with New Jersey Transit. Because we have 3 stations in town, and we have an electric rail line, the responding to an emergency on the rails with the assistance of transit, we would be obviously the first responders there. With the amount of electricity that's involved, there's a lot of safety that the first responders need to know so we can stay safe, so we can help those in need. So New Jersey Transit came out. They worked with both fire companies. They did a lecture in the field at fire company, and then we did hands-on actually at the Gladstone Yard, getting on all the different cars, understanding the electrical system, and learning about all the hazards, things you don't even think about. And it was an excellent course taught by New Jersey Transit, and we really appreciate their time. We also did some commercial emergency vehicle training recently, and with the amount of homes and businesses with solar panels, we've also taken additional training on dealing with solar panel fires. So that's for the fire department. Next item is HPAC. Had a meeting on June 2nd, which I attended. They're working on a recognition plaque for an existing home in town. They just got an application for a new homeowner who just bought a home up on Elm Street, and that home dates back to when the silk factories were here in the 1800s. So they do a lot of interesting historical stuff, and if anyone's ever interested, meetings are open to the public. The next meeting is, I believe, scheduled for July 15th, and that'll be posted on the website. And the last report, just wanted to give everyone an update on the new exploratory committee that was set up for the new police station, which both Committeeman Dorsey and I are on, along with Randy and members of the police department. It's an exploratory committee that's engaged an engineer to do an assessment, and that's the earliest stage. It really kind of, they come in, they evaluate the existing building, what the police department currently has, what future needs may be required, and they do a tabulation. They put basically a report together, and based on that, they come up with square footage, what would be needed for a new building if it were to be built. And basically, we've been meeting every Tuesday for a couple of months. There's a little gap right now. They're working on some early drafts on different options of what could be built based on their assessment. But we are in the early stages, but it is in process, and I'm very happy to see it moving along. And I think, it will take time, but I think we will definitely get there.
And to add to that, Frank, there will be presentations
Oh, yes, to the
at,
public.
at here, at
Oh,
this level.
okay, yeah,
so.
of course.
Frank, that's great.
That was my last report.
That's
I'll try to
great.
do more next time.
I appreciate that. So Vic, all of a sudden, you have a tough act to follow, so.
I don't know, that was,
Let's see.
And I didn't
well
have
done.
I didn't have the teleprompter either.
no, you don't have it written out for you either. That was off the cuff, very well done. Are we ready? All right, our rec update is as follows. On Friday, June 5th, we welcomed almost 200 kids, grade 5 through 7, for our Spring Lake Dance at Sterling Lake. The kids had a blast. Construction on the basketball court and tennis courts at Cantor Park resumed on Monday, June 15th. The weather has been perfect so far. As long as this stretch of good weather stays with us, we anticipate the first part of the project will finish next week. Then, there is a month or so of curing that needs to take place. We hope to be back on the courts at the beginning of August. Please use extra caution while in the parks and stay clear of all the construction equipment. Thank you for your patience and cooperation during this time. And yes, it is our plan to repair the walking pathways as soon as we are done with the construction. Our Dog Days of Summer Concert Series kicks off this Thursday, June 18th, with a crowd favorite, Parrot Beach. Come join us at Sterling Lake as we welcome back the sounds of Jimmy Buffett with this tribute band. Bring a beach chair and relax, fun for the whole family. Due to limited parking, carpooling and walking are encouraged. Please note, there is no swimming during the concert. Then, make sure to mark your calendar for the next 8 Thursday evenings and join us as our free concerts continue at Cantor Park. Don't forget the screen truck will have ice cream for sale from 7:30 to 8:30 at all concerts. It's a great way to beat the heat and chill. All concerts are Thursday nights beginning at 7 p.m. Summer camps are starting. Our summer rec camp for children grades K through 8 starts on Monday, June 22nd. Our pre-K camp for children ages 3 through 5 starts on Monday, June 29th. There are still spots available in our pre-K camp. We are also excited to start camp and welcome our campers. We have lots of fun planned. Please check out our summer camps page on our website for lots of information. Join us on Wednesdays at Sterling Lake starting June 24th. Town Librarian Albie Ashbrook will read books and do a craft with everyone while the sun is shining. Open to all residents and it is free. No registration is necessary. You may notice an extra set of footprints, actually paw prints, leading into the Parks and Recreation office. Stop by and meet Nacho, who is training right now to work in the parks. He would love to meet you. Want to have some fun with us in Parks and Recreation? Come join the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. Please visit our website for more information. And last but not least, don't forget to show your park some love and keep garbage in its place. And that concludes my recreation update. Thank you.
Has Oscar the Grouch retired? or-
No reference to Oscar the Grouch.
So we have a new one. I like the new. Vic, thank you.
Thank you.
Matt?
First, from the Health Committee, it's important, they're doing a free skin cancer screening. It's over at Fellowship Village Wellness Center, July 15th and 16th. The screening includes a full body check for early detection of skin cancer, including melanoma. They're all confidential exams. They're by board-certified dermatologists for adults 18 and over. And you can't have previously attended a Berners Township skin cancer screening in the past, or be under the care of an active care of a dermatologist. Please call Tara or Jackie over at the Bernards Board of Health to register. But it's free for basically 18 and up. It's a very good program. What else do we have? Anything? Excellent. And don't forget to recycle. Al, how we doing with the mattresses? Anybody yet? Six mattresses so far. That's pretty good. So we haven't really advertised, but 6 people with mattress recycling. And don't forget, we have the styrofoam, which was overfilling this week, which is great. Cans, light bulbs, batteries, cooking oil and grease. We got everything down there. So please come down and let's get more programs. If you have any ideas, please contact one of us or Al Gallo. Thank you.
Not lithium batteries though, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Car batteries, the batteries including remote controls. That
Oh,
kind of
really?
stuff. Oh, yeah.
soup to nuts on the battery
Oh,
side,
yeah,
huh?
Al got that, they got that back started a couple
Well
months
done.
ago.
I mean, Al and Matt have worked on this for a number of years, so kudos to you, kudos to the DPW team, so thank you. There's a couple items I think on discussion, so we'll hold off on data centers. I don't want to steal Randy's thunder. Just Myersville Road, I received I live in Myersville, so a number of folks have felt to reach out. I have to give NJ American Water or their contractor credit, because the reason why you don't pave a road immediately, and obviously Al knows this better than I do, is it'll sink. And yet that road is reasonably drivable. It's not great, but it's reasonably drivable, and I couldn't figure out why. The reason why is they come back every couple of days and refill it. As it sinks, they refill it. And then maybe you have a timeline. You have a timeline, I assume, on Hickory to Chatham. I know you don't have Long Hill Road West from Myersville Road and Long Hill to Basking Ridge, because that's county, but you stay in touch with them. I just wanted to go over that. Cell towers are not on discussion, and I won't go too far, other than to say there is an active application, a live application in front of the Board of Adjustment, so there's a limit to what we can say. I think we've already announced that we had gone out to bid, thinking maybe it would be in a more appropriate spot over near Millington Train Station. We did not receive any bids. So that application remains live, which means we're not going to talk about small cell possibility as that application proceeds. Whatever happens there, happens there. The Board of Adjustment, as Jack has pointed out in the past, is a quasi-judicial body. We have no say in that application. We do not discuss it with the Board of Adjustment, and we certainly don't discuss it with Verizon. And blah, blah, blah. The engagement committee, I was going to talk about it under digital engagement, under old new business, but I think the meetings, we'll have some conversations here. I'm looking forward for that group to come back to us with some recommendations as to better interact with the public. As the auditor said, we've done a very, very good job regarding spending your money. It's your money, and providing the services that go along with it. I don't know if we do a great job, probably, conversing with the public. And I would probably ask Frank and Teresa, who's not here this evening, you have new eyes, fresh eyes.
Yes.
So maybe the two of you can work.
We have some ideas on, like you and I had talked about, some implementing, it'll take a little bit of time, some customer service ideas, because, it's one of the things, when you're either in business, or they even teach you actually the first day at fire school. It's actually something that Director Querick said at the county is, whether you're a firefighter or anyone who's in public service, you're in the customer service business whether you realize it or not. So, as a firefighter, obviously you're there to help people, and it's, could be on their worst day, or it could just be, something as simple as an alarm. But even here at Town Hall and all of our employees, they're all in customer service too, and the residents are the customers. So whatever we can do to improve our customer service relations with everyone and make your experience better, whether it's, getting a dog license, or coming to the construction department, or coming to Town Hall, anything that we can do to improve that and improve communication. And it's even the same thing for us. like we were talking about, maybe even, you know, you were talking maybe doing office hours or something, or I might even consider doing it, or, you know,
Right, I think that's.
opening up to the public,
you
you
and
know,
I
lead
discussed
into
it.
stuff like that.
And Jack, unless there's an issue with this, what Frank and I had discussed is not just the mayor, because we're all kind of equals up here. So the mayor would have a Friday or a day,
Mhm.
whatever day that might be, and then Vic might have one, and Frank
Yeah.
might have one, and
We'll just
anybody-
use your office,
You could certainly do
Absolutely.
that.
you know, we'll hang a little sign in there, we're in for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, and this way, especially for people who may not wanna come and speak at the podium, it is intimidating at times. They just wanna pop in and they have a concern, because it's not necessarily looking on social media to find what people are talking about. Sometimes people wanna talk to you one-on-one. And hopefully, you know what, you might sit there and be there for an hour and nobody comes by because there's really nothing pressing, but it might be that one resident you can help that might not wanna come here, and I think if we, you know, extend that out, I think it would only reap benefits.
And I don't think we have to, I mean, we could start at a meeting.
Oh,
for
yeah.
that day.
It's
You
something
know,
simple.
I don't know what the committee looks at, a Friday, a Monday, whatever, I know.
Yeah, one
Monday,
day
Friday's
during the
better
week,
for me.
yeah.
But
We'll discuss it, we'll come up with something,
out.
we have time, it's not something we have to do tonight, but I think over the summer, we could collaborate, and, you know, Teresa, you know, definitely is on board with that also, when we talked about, you know, doing stuff to engage the public, so we'll have updates coming in the future.
I appreciate that. And so, I'm good, and without further ado, Randy.
Okay, so I have a report for the month of May. Let's get right into the most important things, engineering projects. Long Hill Road Phase 1 has been substantially completed with punch list items, if any, to be adjusted. Chestnut Street, same thing. New Jersey American Water continues to do sewer work throughout the township. They are off Myersville, substantially done with that. They will be coming back at some time to pave. People say 6 months. I don't know if that's a really standard time. They are, like you said, they are making weekly improvements to the sinking trench, which obviously is better than just waiting until 6 months and then coming back and finishing it.
So I misspoke, I said 6 weeks.
So, but typically, like the county actually has a policy 6 months after they do the work that they expect to let it settle and do work. Long Hill Phase 2, the next big question. Contract is projected to be out there the week of July 4th, so June 29th, with, of course, this is weather permitting, with milling the first day and paving the next 2 days, and after the holiday, they'll finish the striping and curbing. He believes that they can get that done in that time frame. Vic talked about the tennis court and basketball court. They are actively doing work. They were not out there today, but they'll be back tomorrow with, again, the substantial work being completed next week. It is an active park, so the contractors are being very safety-oriented, but we ask the public to please be patient. These are projects that are long overdue. We really need to get it done. It looks a mess right now, but the final project will be top-notch. And like Vic said, yes, we are aware of the pathways. In fact, we already have money appropriated for that in 2025, and we decided to hold off because of this project. So if you've been out in the park and see one section of pathway, you'd be very appreciative that we held off and not let the tandem trucks run over the new pavement. So, you know, that will, and again, like Vic said, in beginning of August, second week of August, they'll be coming back to do the color coding on the tennis courts and the basketball courts, and should have everything completed by August, and the park will have a nice update and refresher. Zoning, we have 2 new applications that were submitted, bringing a total of 10 applications that are before the boards right now. 6 zoning permits were issued. Clerk's office, we had 19 dog license issues, and that's due to the work of the township clerk's office sending out reminder notices and, in some cases, summonses to get people to come and pay their license. They issued 533 daily parking permits and 109 other registrations license requests. Fire prevention, they continue doing food truck approvals, busy with home sale inspections. They've had 17 fire incidents whereby 9 investigations were completed. Just want to do a shout out to our fire marshal, Don Huber, who was awarded a 35-year service award from the International Association of Arson Investigators. So congratulations, Don Huber. Code enforcement, he handled 48 complaints, came through the office. All 48 complaints were investigated and followed up on, whether they needed to be continued summonses or they complied. 10 temporary sign permits were issued. He gave out 20 recycling warning tags, and that's important because the county recycling will not pick up recycling if it's not correctly coordinated. So please, people, make sure you're coordinating your recycling. There's an extensive on our website. There's extensive instructions, and again, like Deputy Mayor Dorsey said, there's anything you can imagine recycling. Public Works, sneakers, tennis balls, those items. So we do a lot of extensives, and we even do food waste, which a lot of municipalities do not do. So if you want to get rid of your food waste, I know we have people come there every day to get rid of their food waste. So kudos to those people, but it's there. And 3 temporary signs were issued. In finance, in May, we collected for 2025 taxes, we collected $61,731. We had our tax sale for delinquent 2025 and prior. All the liens, we had 3 liens, 3 properties. All liens were sold to outside investors. So we were made whole for 2025. 2026 taxes collected were $8,297,646. Other revenue collected was $295,172. Parking utility, we collected $4,902. Total disbursements in local school tax was $1,594,553. Regional school tax, $637,868. Other disbursements were $2,726,384. Parking utility had just under $200. With recreation, we talked about the park improvements, which are going very well. If anybody has any concerns or anything with that, just please let me know. But we do have inspectors out there on a daily basis when they are working. We also, recreation and our recreation director and our community services director work together with concern of the senior citizen group had of providing transportation to get to the park for the concerts in the park. In the past, our recreation director would help people, if they need help and ask, they would certainly help people get over to the park. But this parking lot out to the park can be challenging for not only senior citizens with some disabilities, but also other people with disabilities. So we are implementing a system where we will allow people to park at the senior center, which is just down the road, and we'll have we will have them bust from the senior center to the soccer field and back to there. So if you need assistance with the summer concerts, please contact the Community Services Office, Shane Daly, and she will arrange those arrangements. Last but not least, municipal court. And we always appreciate this. We collected $13,625, and our portion was $4,900. So I don't know what to tell you. There were 89 tickets issued and 19 criminal complaints.
Matt's very familiar with that. The state has their hand in that pocket.
Yeah. And With the police, we have calls for service for the month of May, 2,570, making a total for the first 5 months, 13,338. Wow. There was about 18 motor vehicle accidents during the month of May, and 2 with injury, and 1 actually resulted in a charge for DWI and alcohol influence. There was multiple training done during the month of May. We are constantly training. People don't know. And maybe the committee is not aware of it, but with the new police licensing that was issued by the state, there are continuing education that is constant, and it is the responsibility of the chief of police to make sure that everybody gets that training and renew their licenses. So she takes care of that on a regular basis. The police on May 7th, who represented the police department at Career Day at the County College of Morris, and they had a great day and a great time doing that. So that's wraps. So
Randy, great report.
I know I spoke way too much tonight.
And again, I want to thank Chief Gallo and Matt Dorsey regarding the, and obviously the DPW team regarding the recycling. We're certainly amongst the best in the state. So, and that's a lot of work, so thank you. I want to thank Chief Chimbriello for what you just described. That department is top-notch. The team is top-notch, so a big shout-out to them. Matt, can I ask you a favor? Can you do the trash can ordinance? I have to run for just 2 seconds. I'll be back out. Just start the conversation up here, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Or why don't you start with the amending, and I'll probably be back before you get to the
Amending
trash
what?
can. Here, this one. There you go. I apologize. Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay, so first thing's discussion on topic, amending section 7-20, about vehicles over designated weight. Is that what you want to talk
Yep,
about?
yep.
Okay. Excluded from certain streets, of Long Hill Road, a portion of Long Hill Road. Jack, you want to?
Yes, this came from the police department.
Okay.
Because there's been an issue with large commercial vehicles becoming disabled while attempting the right turn from northbound Mountain onto eastbound Long Hill. And what this does was it prohibits vehicles over 10 tons on Long Hill Road east of Mountain Avenue to the Chatham Township line.
Oh, we were talking about the traffic advisor came here for a couple
Yes,
months. And
yes.
Lieutenant Sutton, that's one of his recommendations. I remember trucks get stuck up there. I don't know if Frank was on the fire department, I know Al was. When the bus got, there was something with the bus, but that wasn't an oversized truck, but it's a tight turn.
Well, you saw an 18-wheeler where the undercarriage, the landing legs got caught on the hill there. But I guess, Jack, my question to you is, when you restrict it to 10 tons, 20,000 pounds, you could still be pulling a trailer behind that, and you get the trailer scrapes on that hill where they just paved coming around. So, are you restricting trailers too, or just the gross vehicle weight of the truck?
It would be trailers too.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, any of those restrictions, if you're doing delivery to that road.
Right, like a landscaper can still
Landscaper
go
can still
down
do their
that
job.
Local delivery.
So it's mostly people passing through is what we're trying to stop.
And to emphasize what Deputy Mayor said, this was discussed at the TAC committee, and we do have the county representation at the
Very
TAC
steep.
committee, and they did agree that this was a good call to do a weight limit on that road.
Yeah, and we're just following our process of discussing at one meeting, the meeting prior to introduction.
No, that makes sense.
So I guess that'll be introduced. Do we have to do anything, Mike?
The
or
next
not?
meeting.
Next meeting,
Yes.
okay. Next is the infamous trash can ordinance, with possible introduction. I believe there's copies of it here. I know Mr. Renowitz already commented on it. I think I know where I stand on it. Is there anything we discuss, meaning Frank, Vic, anything you guys want to say before?
I mean, we're just doing this because we got one particular situation, and it's
Well, you know,
This is growing.
yeah,
The situation growing.
You know,
Keep ready.
unfortunately, I got a complaint today about somebody else in a different area of town
my
that
God.
leaves their garbage cans out at the street all week long. look, it's, I know in my town, because we have to get our own garbage companies, there's no way anybody can enforce that in Hillsborough, because
Right, 'cause it's all
everybody has
different
different
companies.
days and everything else. The town would not know what day you get picked up. This was brought forward because, when our code enforcement officer went out to talk to the person, they were less than cooperative, and there was no ordinance that the code enforcement could enforce against the person. So he actually brought the guy's garbage can back up to the house, but, obviously you can't do that every week. So, that's why this was brought forward to the committee. I'm not saying we should definitely have it or we shouldn't have it, but, this is where you guys make the big bucks and you guys discuss it, so.
Look, I'm really troubled about legislating
Yeah.
decency.
I mean, because we're not an HOA,
Yeah. Well
right?
said.
I don't know how else to.
And Matt, I think I know where you stand,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
why don't you speak, because I think
Well,
I'm
yeah,
interested.
again, I don't wanna create an ordinance for just one or two people. As I suggested, the neighbors can police themselves, and they probably should, wink, wink, but that's between them to deal with. But I can't
Yeah.
this is gonna create too many problems.
It's a slippery slope.
So if someone refuses to take their garbage cans in, there's nothing,
Not now.
so we should just let that go and say it's okay, just leave it there? There's
Well,
no
if they're
way to
abandoned
reinforce
property
it?
and
What-
they disappear, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Or if it's left in the street, then they could get probably summons from the police obstructing
Obstructing
traffic.
traffic, maybe,
Right.
but.
Right, because Title 39 kicks in if you're in the road.
The flip side is, I don't think the police department should
Yeah,
want to
spend
be
your
No,
involved in
no,
that.
but yeah, exactly. So we're spending a lot of energy on
One person.
one person.
All right, I think, Frank, if I'm reading your body language correctly, you don't want to legislate for common decency. Matt, I
I
think,
have to agree with Frank on that.
I'm torn. I don't know what Teresa is saying. We could certainly wait for Teresa to come back. Has it resolved itself on any level? to
Not
point?
that one property.
Not that one property.
Mark just got, we just got another complaint, unfortunately, today about a different property. Look, Mark will always go out, if somebody complains, Mark will go out and
Oh,
have discussions
he's
with the
spot
homeowner.
on, yes, yes.
Most of the time, he can make the argument of, hey, just do it because it's the decent thing to do. So most of the time, people are reasonable. I'll say that.
And maybe the second complaint, you have a more reasonable person on the other end of it, so who knows?
Well, one thing's for sure, even if Vic and I said, oh, let's pass the ordinance, or let's, propose the ordinance, it's still only gonna be 2-2 tonight anyway.
Correct.
And I'm telling you, it depends on my mood. I don't wanna pass an ordinance for one person. We have 3,000 residents, a little bit less residential properties in this town. And we're publicly admitting we're gonna pass it because of one property. And it's illogical. So,
Well,
I don't think
table
we're
it?
gonna get anywhere tonight anyway.
Well, it's only on discussion tonight. So.
Right.
So you can carry it till the next meeting for further discussion if you'd like, or.
Let's do that.
Just vote it down, whatever.
Vic, I just wanted to take your temperature. Where would you think you would come out?
I'm for it.
You're for it. I'm troubled by it. And the more I thought about it after Matt spoke at the last meeting, I just don't want to pass in one home for 2,800 properties. I don't know what the resolution is, but, the street is public property. I just don't understand how somebody can leave it there. I mean, legally.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can leave it
If
there.
it's not
As
obstructing
Frank said
traffic,
it.
there's not much you can do.
Well, we'll carry the discussion, to the next meeting, but I think I'm gonna publicly say I'm leaning against it. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't know what the resolution is, though. All right, so, and you already did the other one, so we're up to data centers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And so if I could just, mention where I'm coming from, and as I know, I would normally open it up to the others first. And after speaking with Jack and a few members of the planning board, and typically we would send something like this to the planning board.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In fact,
Standard procedure.
almost universally have we done that.
And I know that the planning board has a subcommittee, an ordinance review subcommittee. And the members of that, and they're very good, you have former planning board chair David Hans, you have Bob Lavario, you have Tom Jones, the current chair, you have Scott Lavender, and you have the professionals, planning and zoning administrator Deb Kuntz, and the planner, and the planning, and the attorney. They're more versed in this than we are. They wrote the ordinances that are in place, that it appears already preclude a data center, but I don't want to speak too far. I want them to review it and probably put a timeline on it. I think we would like a response from them maybe by, what are we, June, July?
When's the July
How about the middle of August?
What's there, one
We
meeting?
only have one meeting in July and August.
They only have one meeting.
No,
I know we do, but what about
When
them?
does planning board have their meetings?
How about, how about give them until the first meeting in September?
Yeah,
Too long.
Not too long?
That's too long.
Middle of
Yeah, that's
August?
Middle of August, I think, so enough,
Yeah.
unless they're not having
All right,
any meetings.
I'm cool with that.
Do they have no meetings
Look,
on the?
they've
No,
already,
they
they-
have to.
they've already been discussing it.
Okay,
Uh,
so I think follow the proper channels and let them get back to us, and then,
Which, in fairness, we probably should have done right from the get-go, with something.
okay. You're going right channels now, so it's, you know.
So is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
So
that's-
basically, just to sum up for everybody listening, that we're sending the issue of the AI data center to the planning board to weigh in on, get back to us by August, and then we'll obviously discuss it in public.
Yes,
That is correct.
absolutely.
Okay, all right, that's,
Just,
That's the right procedure.
okay.
just for clarification, you're asking their opinion on whether they should be banned?
No,
Whether,
actually, well, I think it needs to be in the context of current ordinances. How would they apply
Right.
and what would they recommend?
Is it already prohibited, I think, is probably like.
But if a new ordinance is needed,
Yeah, then
you're
you-
asking them
yeah,
to draft an
correct.
ordinance for
Correct.
your consideration.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Sounds right.
I mean, well, having conversations and, full disclosure, the League of Municipalities, so we had a board meeting the other day. One of the topics that was discussed, in fact, was data centers. And the expert there, he's a member, he's the mayor of Mount Arlington, but he's an expert in data centers. He, in fact, was Governor Sherrill's expert when she had a press conference a couple of weeks back. He spoke there as well. And it depends. It depends on the town. I know, Frank, you're very familiar with Kenilworth. They're putting one in there.
Yes.
But there's a difference between a large town with a lot of open space.
And an industrial town that has the facilities and has the
Or a small
utilities to
town.
support it and the space.
So our job as elected officials is how does Long Hill address this issue? We're not gonna speak for Kenilworth or Hillsborough. That's your town, right, Hillsborough? I don't know what they're doing there, but there was a time where you had a lot of open space.
Increasing taxes and buying up property.
So I am curious what they have to say. And, and if, they may come back and say, we need to
Yeah.
have an ordinance. and
Defer
in
to the
which case-
professionals.
So we good with that?
I'm fine
Yes,
with that.
I'm fine with it.
As long as we get some by August, I'm fine.
Okay. Old new business. I think we discussed everything. Anybody have any old new? We covered a bunch.
We covered
We were
everything,
gonna cover earlier. So announcements. Megan, did you give me an announcement? I don't have any announcements. And Matt,
That's a
the
first.
blood drive was yesterday, so
Yes,
Matt.
I saw the sign. I have an announcement, though.
This is a first.
Oh, what?
No announcements.
I got an
No.
announcement.
Oh,
Oh, Grant, you have an announcement?
Go ahead.
Oh, happy Pride Month to all our family, friends, and neighbors. So happy Pride Month. Have a great, healthy, and happy June.
Mandy, was that your announcement too? Frank?
I'm good right now.
Vic?
right?
I know we already went over the concerts. Concerts coming up. By the way, those concerts are funded by the gift that keeps on giving. The turf field, the rentals that come from the concerts, so they're free. That's why they're free. All right. So
I do
now,
have one announcement. Congratulations, Scotland. One of the first wins in the World Cup, so ever. So
and taking over Fenway
that
Park.
it was up in Boston, right?
yes,
They took over Fenway
they
Park,
took over Fenway Park. Everybody had a grand old time up in Boston, I hear,
and Boston ran out of beer.
and we ran out of beer, which I'm not
I
surprised.
was not going to say that. But that was in fact widely reported. The Scottish apparently like beer, huh? Who knew?
They like scotch and beer. They do that, I will say.
All right, item number 14, meeting is open to the public. Remarks, statements pertaining to any matter, comments, remarks, if you could, limit it to 3 minutes, but we're not too strict as long as it's justified. Good evening. I know we know each other, but if you could
Good
say your
evening. Yes, Cyril Durso, 23 Winding Way in Sterling. Unfortunately, I missed the first half of the meeting. I'm a contractor. I work 13, 14-hour days, and I'm actually legally parked in the township, unlike the 4 or 5 spots that I will drive by on my way to Winding Way this evening when I go home. I understand that the ordinance was passed today for the chickens. Could someone just quickly give me a overview of it?
You can keep your chickens, rooster has to go, and then the side yard setback is gonna be the same as it is for sheds and everything else in town. That's in
terrific.
general. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So this all started back in February. As I mentioned, I got a letter from Mark asking about a zoning permit. So this all started with a zoning permit, and which I'm still working on and going through the process of getting the survey. Might not. No, there's a money
you still
grab
need
for
a zoning
$100.
permit.
Yeah. So, with that said, I don't know those who are familiar with Millington Heights, where I live. They're all acre properties. Okay. My neighbor to the left, not the one that's adjacent behind me, and not the one to the right, made a complaint. Across Chestnut Street. Okay, and over one. Plus, wonderful job paving Chestnut, by the way. It was at 40 feet. So I'm like nowhere near this complaint. And I got this issue with the zoning permit, which I'm going through, okay? And now we pass an ordinance. I know some have had conversations with Mark asking about if this was an isolated incident throughout the township, which it was. He openly admitted this is an isolated incident. Okay, there's not, what was there, 2,300 you said residents?
28, I think it's 28.
2,800.
2,800 properties.
Residential.
Okay,
Residential.
properties. How many emails did you get, Mayor?
Regarding roosters?
Yeah. One. Right, one. Okay. Did we just not have a conversation? You got to listen to yourselves talk here. You just said that you didn't want to pass a garbage ordinance for one person, one squeaky wheel that sent you an email. And what did you do now? You passed an ordinance because I got a complaint about a setback. Does that make sense to you?
Well, the setback we addressed, I think,
Yes.
to accommodate.
But that's how this all started, and it snowballed. Okay?
I got to
The
ask you a
roost-
question.
Yes.
Do you think that it's fair to your neighbors that you have a rooster?
Do I think it's fair? I'm operating in the guidelines that were given by the township.
So
That
when
you'll-
you hear that,
you
when
are,
when you hear that rooster crowing early in the morning and every one of your neighbors hear it, you think that's pleasant? You think they enjoy it? You're defending your position on having a rooster that wakes up your whole neighborhood.
which I rehomed, and if I had the conversation as an adult, okay, someone could have come to me as an adult, not the self-appointed mayor of Millington Heights, speaking on behalf of the neighborhood on Chestnut and Winding Way, okay?
But let me,
The
you
difference
didn't
is
notice
this.
it? You didn't notice that
I don't
left?
hear it. The doors, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. And there's another rooster that is closer to the complainant.
But now that you know that everybody else hears it in the
When
neighborhood.
you say everybody else, the one person that sent an email, Vic?
No, listen.
oh, there were multiple
listen.
emails?
I don't want to. Listen, you're a good guy. I don't need to be confrontational and argumentative, but I experienced this myself in life, where someone had a rooster.
Where?
Crowing all the time when I was in Georgia going to chiropractic college. It was so. It crucified the quality of life in our neighborhood. It would
How
crow
big
at
were
all
those- how big
times.
were those
It would
lots?
wake you
How
up.
big were those lots, Vic? I don't live on a postage stamp. I don't live
Yes,
on a postage
but
stamp.
this rooster was.
Where? What,
It was like over, it's hard to describe, but it was like a few acres away.
few acres away.
That's the truth. and it was so loud. Even if you closed your window, you still heard it. It was a real disruptor. And when you were trying to study,
Amazing that
and
Mr.
sleep-
Pavlo decides to have his windows open in the middle of winter when the complaint came through. January and February. That's when the complaint came in. And again, one gentleman, one person, you refuse to pass an ordinance or discuss it even on a garbage because it's on an HOA.
So let me ask you
Guys,
this
just
question.
Rewind it. Rewind it.
Since you say you don't hear it, stand outside of your home one day and listen to it for yourself.
You mean nature?
And
Nature, the birds.
the
You know what
rooster.
I do here?
The rooster.
Okay, that's part of
listen
nature.
to that.
That's part of
Listen
nature.
Listen to that rooster and tell me what you think. Because I'm going to tell you, I guarantee you're going to say, that is loud. That is disruptive, and my neighbors don't like it.
You know what the difference is? I grew up in Morris County, in Myersville. You guys forgot what this township looked like 50 years ago. Because you weren't here. There's a couple up there that were here.
So
couple.
So that makes it okay then, I guess?
That's the roots. This was a farming and a community, okay? And at the same time, I have one soul that is complaining, okay? Maybe there is someone else. Maybe there's someone else. But they're not here. But I can just shoot an email. You know what bothers me and my kids is the incessant barking in the neighborhood.
I'm not going to argue with that either.
Is there a
I wouldn't
ordinance
argue
on
that either, to be honest
Is
with
there
you.
an ordinance on that?
I don't think
'Cause
that's fair either.
I took the time this afternoon to look at it. There is.
There is an ordinance on barking.
Yes, there is. So should I send an email to Guy? And maybe he'll handle it? Maybe you'll handle it, Guy, for me. Or is there an ordinance about having a dog on private property? Because just this week, I have a couple neighbors that decide to use my beautiful lawn that I take care of and I curate and I irrigate, spend a lot of money on chemicals, that decides just to defecate on my lawn. Maybe as a FU, because I have a rooster, I don't know. But there's an ordinance there too. I appreciate that, the thought that you gave to the garbage ordinance. But this, one person, we're gonna blanket it.
It is true, though, Jack, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's not uncommon. Towns do have ordinances.
Oh, the same towns that Mr. Pavlo mentioned at Berkeley Heights, which were nothing like.
Fair enough.
Basking Ridge, which were nothing like. Bedminster, like we're nothing like. Burnsville, these are all the towns that he said that were like. Have you been down to their downtowns? Have you been down Main Street or down Valley Road? Looks nothing like Burnsville. Looks nothing like Ridge. I mean, I'm killing you guys up here. Absolutely killing you guys. Now, I remember Randy remembered me.
I disagree with that. I think you're dead wrong. I think that is mad inconsiderate of you to bestow a rooster upon your neighborhood with that loud noise. I think that's awful of you. It's totally
maybe you should
inconsiderate.
talk to Mark Andres, one of your employees, that said I was on the right because there is no ordinance, male, female.
But shouldn't you have noticed that it was loud, obnoxiously loud?
The
and
one
throwing
person,
all the
and
time?
I apologize about your.
I mean, come on.
I would point
That's
out.
brutal of
you
you to
brought-
do
you
to your
brought up
neighbors.
dogs. You brought up dogs.
And it doesn't seem like you care. That's why we have to have an ordinance.
So
There was one on the books, Vic. There
Vic-
was one on the books.
Vic, just one thing. So there is an ordinance, what is it, 5-1.6 nuisances, which is 1967, nearly 60 years old. So at least, no person shall keep within the township any dog causing a nuisance or disturbing the peace or quiet of the neighborhood unnecessarily.
So who should I call?
And how do you define that?
And I agree
know
with
what
you
I'm
on the
saying?
dog.
Is it
Whatever.
barking for
I
5
agree with
minutes,
you.
10
Should I
minutes?
call?
Like it's subjective.
Should I call Alexis? One of my classmates that I went to school with? Should I call them?
No.
Maybe the chief of police maybe will handle. I don't think this is. I mean, you guys are. It's ridiculous.
Look, I hear you,
But I appreciate
I
you
don't think
passing the ordinance for the one person. But the garbage can guy, yeah, he beat you. He beat you. I mean, he crushed you.
I want to pass it for the garbage can guy, too.
Well, he's consistent.
The only one.
do.
The only one that's up there.
I don't think
consistent.
it's nice when you leave your
And,
garbage
and,
out.
and
you don't bring it
furthermore,
to
let me,
your house.
circling back on another point, because you guys spoke about customer service. I think Mr. Liberato is trying to create that, and to go on record, probably the greatest hire in the townships, I've said this to a couple of the members up there, is Don Huber. Phenomenal man. If maybe he could give some training to a couple of the other people in this building, that would be helpful. Another great guy behind me, okay? Past Chief Gallo and head of Director of Public Works.
We appreciate
Tremendous.
both of
These
them
are
very much.
terrific guys. Maybe they could learn something in construction, because the only way to correct that is a pink slip. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So any other member of the public?
Well, I think I have to, excuse me, come up and defend myself because there was a little bit of a character assassination a few minutes ago. I congratulate Mr. Durso for being a public servant, and I appreciate him for that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He says he doesn't hear the rooster from inside. Maybe he's a sound sleeper. Maybe he doesn't have good hearing. I don't really know. His point of contention was you guys didn't want to discuss, well, you didn't want to pass an ordinance right now for one homeowner who has a garbage can that gets left out. That garbage can doesn't wake anyone up. That garbage can doesn't disturb anyone's peace all day long. My wife and I, and when we have our grandchildren over, we don't like to get woken up 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. Windows open, windows closed. He said, I opened my windows in the middle of the winter when this all started. It all started when I sent an email, I think, to, I don't even know who I sent it to originally, and it said, are roosters allowed in Long Hill Township? And that's when Mark Andrus reached out to me and said, there is no ordinance against roosters in Long Hill Township. So we let time go by. Rooster kept disturbing us. That's when I sent the email to the Township Committee. So I can appreciate where he's coming from. He wants to keep his rooster.
I think he rehomed it though, didn't he? I think he said
Well,
he
maybe it needs to be rehomed to a farm. That's the
Like a
only thing I
farm.
could suggest to him. I'm an animal lover. I'm not telling him
So
to
are you
kill
still
the
hearing
rooster.
the rooster now?
I would say have the rooster go to a farm. He'll be as happy as a clam.
Well,
And the
we have
rest of
several
the
in town. Maybe.
yeah, he
Mr.
could be a friend to the one that you hear. I mean, I don't know. What's that?
You still hear it or not?
You
Oh
still
my
hear it?
gosh, the rooster?
Wait, is there a second one? He says another one in there.
I don't hear another rooster. I hear one sometimes when I hear it. I hear another one off in the distance, kind of like birds, how they talk to each other. I don't know where the other rooster is that he's discussing. And
But
just
he
to
said he
refute his
rehomed the
point,
rooster.
They're starting communication.
So
just
if
to
he
refute
rehomed,
his
whose
point,
rooster is he hearing?
yeah, we all have about an acre of property, but I walk a lot, right? I've been walking to Dorsey's Pharmacy, and I'm on Main Ave, and I can hear that rooster. Okay,
You have good hearing.
no, you don't need to have good hearing.
Dude, half a mile away. They're
I
loud.
invite- If there's any,
Look,
I mean,
I
no,
think
the
both
ordinance
of you-
already passed, so maybe this is a moot point. But if anybody thinks that this is frivolous, I invite you
I
to
don't
come
think
stay
so.
at my house for one night with the window shut.
Look, you've been respectful, and I appreciate it. I actually think Mr. Dorso, he's been respectful as well. Maybe a little bit more animated, but I think he's been respectful. too.
Yes, I mean,
He's willing to
I
comply.
know them. I
I don't know
don't.
about this rooster. All I'm telling you is the rooster next to me, Mars, goes off at 5 o'clock, and then goes. I don't know what he does. but
All
he
I
does-
would
he
say
doesn't-
is, Mayor, count yourself lucky. Count yourself lucky that it's not in your neighborhood and it's not as exuberant as his is. I would want to ask him, why did you rehouse it? Did it get thrown out of some other neighborhood?
I'll give you a sports analogy. My high school coach taught us. You play, or you call safe, and then never argue a call in your favor.
You're right. I only came up here to just,
But what if that rooster woke you up every day at 5 o'clock? Would you?
But
you would hate it.
it's already been resolved. It's done.
it's been resolved. And I hope that we can have an amicable relationship. We talk when we walk around the block. He's a good guy.
He
I'd
is
like
very
to think
good.
I'm a good guy. But
He's a
that
very good
rooster's
guy.
tearing the neighborhood apart. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other member of the public? Going once, twice. At home?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone there.
Motion adjourned.
So
Thank you,
moved.
everybody. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Wait, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, one of you guys.
Megan, you said second.
Can you turn the mics off, please?
Oh, we left even turn
Big
on.
left.
Hold on.
Too, bro.
Good Lord.